Welcome back to Dano Does Things. This week, I'm going to show you 4 ways to paint shadows with watercolors. The first technique uses just raw umber. This creates a really delicate shadow, one that doesn't contrast too much with what you've painted. You'll want to use a fairly diluted raw umber. Think of very weak tea color. With all shadows, you want to mimic the shape of the object, but you don't have to match it exactly. Once you've put down your first layer, let it dry a little and then add a touch more color right along the object, casting the shadow. The second technique combines a red and a blue. Here I'm using carmine red pale and ultramarine to create a soft purple. You should always have a scrap piece of watercolor paper to test out your color mixing. This shadow is much more obvious than the first and can be used when you want to show contrast. Again, put down one layer and let it dry for a bit before adding a touch more color along the object. The third shadow is created with just ultramarine blue, which creates a very natural looking shadow, especially when painting objects as if in natural light. Start with a lighter wash of color and build it up, depending on the vibrancy of the light you are trying to capture. The fourth technique is similar to the third, but instead of just using ultramarine blue, you add ultramarine blue to whatever color you use to paint your object. In this example, I created the leaf from emerald green, raw umber, carmine red pale, and ultramarine blue. To that, I added even more ultramarine blue to get a blue tone of the original color. Like the others, build up the color depending on how bright the light is in your painting. And that is 4 techniques to paint shadows in watercolors. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.